Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Did you know that the CEO of SBI Holding, Yoshitaka Kitao, has been tipped for a new director role at Fuji Holdings? This courtesy of XRP Crypto Wolf, guys. Check this out. According to a Monday report by the Nikkei Dalton Investments, a US-based investment management firm, has tipped SBI Holdings CEO Yoshitaka Kitao as a candidate for the board of directors for Fuji Media Holdings. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, SBI Holdings, of course, is a large Ripple shareholder. I think the largest independent company that does have significant holdings in the Ripple company. And now their CEO, Yoshitaka Kitao of Japan, is or has been tipped to be on the board of directors of Fuji Media Holdings. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, Fuji Media Holdings, let's just take a look down here. Company information, okay, they're a Japan-based company engaged in the core broadcasting business and media and content business and the urban development and tourism business. The company operates in two business segments. The media and content segment is engaged in the production of broadcast programs, movie, anime, games, and events, the sale of video and music software, the publication of music, magazines, and newspapers, as well as television broadcasting, radio broadcasting, mail order sales, and advertising business. The urban development and tourism segment engages in the rental and sales of residences, offices, and logistics facilities, and operation of hotels and marine leisure facilities, as well as events and interior decorating. Boy, it seems like it runs the gamut. And building management business. The company also engages in moving property leasing and product sales, software development, and restaurants and shop businesses. So that is a huge conglomerate. Sounds like a lot of these companies like Sony or Samsung getting into various different facets in many different industries. Yamaha is another one. They make pianos and they make motorcycles. I don't know how that works, but it works. So think about this for a second. I mean, you've got Yoshitaka Kitao, the head of SBI Holdings. Now he's moving in, or potentially, this isn't confirmed yet, but he could be on the board of this Fuji Media Holdings company. And guys, their business model vertically integrated, and it ranges from tourism, hotels, offices, real estate, the media world as well. I think there could be many different applications here for the XRP ledger. I think moving forward, maybe not today so much, but as we move forward, if Yoshitaka Kitao does have this spot, does hold this spot, I think we could in fact see more XRPL integration as the years go on. And again, don't forget this is a Japanese company, and the Japanese already very familiar with Ripple and XRP. So this most recent proposal has been put forward by the US-based Dalton, an activist investor, and is meant to spur further management changes within the embattled company. So apparently this company has been having some problems here. Maybe getting Yoshitaka Kitao on the board, a forward out-of-the-box thinker could help them also navigate some of these troubles. So that's an interesting piece of news that I wasn't expecting today, that's for sure. So I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. One of Ripple's biggest early investors, Standard Chartered, they've just partnered with crypto exchange OKX to launch a collateral mirroring program. This courtesy of Mike Manfield here, guys. Check this out. Standard Chartered is working with crypto exchange OKX on a collateral mirroring program enabling institutional clients to utilize cryptocurrencies and tokenized money market funds as off-exchange collateral for trading. So, as we're starting to see the world shape up into a more sophisticated, or cryptocurrencies rather, I guess we could say, moving along the lines, building towards a more sophisticated infrastructure, we are going to see, and we have been seeing many more of these partnerships solidify. Here we're seeing the partners say that the program will boost security and capital efficiency for institutional clients by using so-called globally systematically important banks, or SIBs, as a custodian for their collateral. The collateral mirroring capabilities have been launched as a pilot within the Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority's regulatory framework, promising clients enhanced protection against counterparty risks. So that's interesting as well. Standard Chartered acts as the independent regulated custodian, ensuring the safe storage of assets used as collateral, while OKX, through the VARA regulated entity, manages collateral and facilitates transactions. And we know Ripple did recently just get a VARA license through the Dubai Financial Authority, I think it is. Anyway, Margaret Harwood Jones, Global Head of Financing and Security Services at Standard Chartered, she did say, "We understand the critical importance of robust and secure custody solutions, especially in the evolving digital asset landscape, and our collaboration with OKX to enable the use of cryptocurrencies and tokenized money market funds as collateral represents a significant step in providing institutional clients with the confidence and efficiency they need." On top of which, Franklin Templeton will be the first in a series of money market funds that will be offered under this new program. So Franklin Templeton also also does have a connection to Ripple. The dedicated crypto and digital asset division of alternative asset manager Brevin Howard is among the first to onboard onto the program. So guys, more development here from one of the original Ripple VC funders, Standard Chartered, and making all boats rise, whether it's in Dubai or Europe or North America, wherever it is. Eventually, every single country is going to have to get on board. Every country's though got their legalities, I guess, their legislation that they have to pass. The United States being one of the last ones on the list. But guys, we're seeing the infrastructure build. And when it builds, it's one of those things that's going to happen very, very fast. We're going to start to see a lot of this implementation, I think, really jumpstart very quickly. The Wolf of Wall Street's bringing this to our attention. Apparently, Dana White of the UFC has joined VeChain as an advisor to support their sustainability app ecosystem, VBetter. Now, VeChain is one of those cryptocurrencies that I hold in my legacy portfolio. It's also one of the $15,000 plus portfolio cryptos that I hold over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If you want to see the rest of those cryptos, sign up. It is a paid subscription. It's basically where, I'm letting my Patreon subscribers know what I'm going to be doing for this bull run, where I'm going to be cashing out. We talk price targets. We talk different coins. We talk the market. I've even opened up, some of my other investments as well, letting my Patreon subscribers see exactly what I'm doing. So if you guys are interested in that, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I bring that up because VeChain, again, I think is going to be a very useful cryptocurrency moving forward. They've partnered with the UFC, and Dana White is an advisor to support their sustainability efforts.
You're making a big announcement, obviously, that you're coming on as an advisor for VeChain. They're also about sustainability, but more, which I think aligns with what I've seen from you, is when there's a problem, you just go solve it.
100%. That's exactly what I do. When I see something that needs to be fixed, I jump in and try to fix it.
So you've known Sonny, I'm assuming, for a long time. How did that sort of come together?
Yeah, so Sonny ended up becoming a sponsor with the UFC. Obviously, I got to know him. He's a great human being, and we started doing more things together. And he came to us and said, I see this 4Ocean thing you're doing. I like this, and I'd like to be a part of it. It's awesome. I would love to actually see more of our sponsors.
You're probably wondering why a Bitcoin guy is out on an uninhabited island in the middle of Biscayne Bay with downtown Miami in the background. Well, I'm here with VeChain and the amazing Sonny Liu to talk to Dana White from the UFC about sustainability and blockchain. It'll make a lot more sense when we're done. I can't wait to see what you build, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your time.
So I'm also curious to see what's going on with this partnership. Sonny Liu has been making the rounds. So he's the CEO and co-founder of VeChain. Okay, he talks of the next level that crypto has to achieve for real-world utility. He was recently just interviewed by Tony Edward from the Thinking Crypto podcast. Here's a clip of Sonny Liu explaining just that.
But also on the other side, I feel like, we're still, let's say the entire crypto space are missing the real utilities or real life applications. Well, let's say we talk about the stablecoin regulation in US and even talk about the National Reserve for Bitcoin. It's a good sign, right? But eventually, if crypto goes to, let's say, going to the next level, let's say, as we discussed a long time ago, we believe blockchain or crypto are going to be like Internet 2.0. Right, and then it's supposed to be the technology to bring the benefits or enable some of the cool applications normal people can use on a daily basis, right? Not just crypto folks and doing the speculative trading only, so it's I would say people are more caving for the real life application. Even more. So that's what I feel like a little bit confusing. One side, people getting super excited about the regulation progress. Another side is like, okay, other than the Bitcoin, what should we look at? Or is there any real utility, real applications? We get excited about that. So that's a general market sentiment.
Even Sonny Liu, who's deep inside the world of crypto, again, he's the CEO and co-founder of the VeChain initiative. He is saying we are still waiting for real-world utility. And, I think, with these partnerships, this is why he's partnering with Dana White of the USC, for example. But with these partnerships, this is what's going to give cryptocurrency credibility. And, this is why this may be the last crypto bull run where we invest in meme coins and, other fun cryptos, taking a shot on one of those. Again, for more information on where I see this market going by the end of 2025 and into 2026, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. And to be honest, at this moment, we don't have all the answers. And this is why I encourage you guys to come to the Patreon, because we're talking about this in real time, okay? I do these pre-recorded videos for YouTube, but on the Patreon, it's an open dialogue. You guys can DM me whenever you want. I will respond to you. I do frequent and regular live Q&A sessions. So anybody who has a question, just come to the live Q&A session. I think I've actually answered everybody's question from the Q&A session. I mean, maybe I missed one or two, but then DM'd the person later and responded to their question. But anyway, if that's something you're interested in, you know where to go. It's funny too, because apparently President Donald Trump did just go and meet Dana White and Sunny Liu of VeChain the other day. It was just a handshake though, confirmed here by Sunny Liu. Yeah, it was just small talk. Nothing in the works here for the United States and the VeChain organization, unfortunately. I'm going to keep moving on, guys, because we do have some other news here. Smoke bringing this to our attention. Now, piggybacking on what I was talking about earlier in this morning's video, if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. The idea that XRP, even though it's not decoupling from Bitcoin and Ethereum in the market, we are actually seeing a low correlation with XRP to other cryptocurrencies. And this was from Wisdom Tree. They identified that trend. Well, now, guys, from this Springer.com research paper, crypto assets such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are unsuitable as payment infrastructures for most DLT use cases. So now these guys have come out and said it. There's a flow chart here demonstrating the monetary unit if you were to use Bitcoin and Ethereum. They don't mention XRP in this particular paper, but they do mention DLT technology. And so if you're going to use DLT, I mean, what's the biggest DLT platform out there that uses a cryptocurrency that is not Bitcoin or Ethereum? Of course, it's Ripple and XRP. Crypto assets, they say down here, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, are unsuitable as payment instruments for most DLT use cases due to their high volatility and low scalability. So we've already identified that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're not going to be the chosen ones. We've always known this. But like Sunny Liu says, eventually it's going to be less and less speculative trading and more real-world use cases. We are just waiting for when that is going to be. John Squire here posting this. Okay, April 16th and April 21st could become the two most important dates in XRP's history. And if you guys are watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, it is April the 15th. He says, and I'm not saying this for hype, he's saying it because of context, data, and a narrative that's been building for years. Let's start with the 16th, which is tomorrow, okay? Finally, we will be ridding ourselves of the Ripple SEC lawsuit, okay? It'll be the final response. After more than 3 years of a legal battle, this document can mark the end of the case, or at least the beginning of the final chapter. A lawsuit that hasn't just slowed XRP's growth in the US, but has shaped the entire regulatory conversation in the crypto world. If Ripple wins, and many signs suggest it does have a strong case, of course, XRP would be free to operate legally and openly in the financial system around the world as well. So that wouldn't just be a legal win, it would be a global signal. XRP is no longer a chased crypto, but a legally backed digital asset. Now for April 21st, okay, in recent weeks, several influential voices have pointed to the possible announcement from Swift. It could be the official confirmation that XRP through Ripple will become part of Swift's global payment infrastructure used by over 11,000 financial institutions worldwide. Guys, you know how big that would be if we do see something occur, or at least an announcement. Maybe if we, at least see the announcement on April the 21st. That would be huge if they did finally announce something this big. In 2023, Ripple already participated in interoperability pilot programs led by Swift. More recently, Swift published a report discussing the integration of DLT technology. Ripple was on that list. XRP was part of that conversation. So is this a coincidence, or could we, in fact, see something meaningful at least be announced on April the 21st? Well, guys, I want to bring this to your attention first, and then we're going to go back to Swift for a second. Grok confirms that if XRP captures 10%, okay, just 10% of Hidden Road's volume, the price of XRP could go to $28.55 per token. Jack the Rippler posted this because we did just recently get news that Ripple acquired Hidden Road. So he asked Grok, and Grok did come up with the calculations here. They said down here, XRP's price could hypothetically rise to $28.55 based on even just 10% of this volume. And the reason I bring this up first is because it really got me thinking about a video I did way back when I started the channel. This is I can't believe how many videos I've done. This was from 6 years ago. Ripple could hit $52.96 overnight with only 10% of Swift's business. And here's the math. And I will link this video up here if you guys want to watch it. 67,000 views for that particular video. It got me thinking about this whole Swift narrative that is now coming back up, considering, who was it, John Squire was talking about it. Do you remember this tweet from Barry Silbert from back in 2017? It's funny because Ian Binns just recently posted this too. Ripple is going to eat Swift's lunch. I don't think so, Barry. So you know what I did? I took it upon myself to ask Grok the same. If the XRPL captures 10% of Swift's volume, what would the price of XRP be? And Grok, well, it analyzed it, and here's what it predicted. Okay, predicting XRP's price, if the XRP ledger captures 10% of Swift's transaction volume, involves many assumptions and variables, so any estimate is speculative. Of course, we know that. Here's a reasoned breakdown based on available information. We know the numbers from Swift. Okay, they handle roughly $5 trillion in daily transaction volume based on historical estimates. 10% of that is 500 billion daily. So that would be 10%, of course. To estimate XRP's price, we need to consider how this volume might affect demand. And guys, here are the tokenomics. Transaction volume and XRP price. XRP is used primarily as a bridge currency for cross-border payments. We know settles in 3 to 5 seconds. Unlike traditional systems, XRP doesn't need to hold the full transaction value in reserve, so it is facilitated as liquidity. If the XRPL processed 500 billion daily, the actual XRP needed depends on velocity. So, for example, if the XRP token turns over multiple times daily, far less than 500 billion in market cap would be required. Let's look at number 2, simplified valuation model. Okay, and this is why AI is so great. I mean, when I was making this video back in 2018, I didn't have AI. I was doing everything manually. Anyway, let's look at this. Okay, simplified valuation model. One approach is to estimate XRP's market cap based on a fraction of the transaction volume. If we assume the market cap needs to support a certain percentage of daily volume, okay, say 1 to 10% for liquidity pools, the XRP circulating supply is about 58 billion tokens. So we can ballpark. At 1% of 500 billion, the price would be 5 billion divided by 58 billion. That would be about 9 cents. At 10%, it would be about 86 cents. These are low because velocity reduces the need for massive market cap. But that's low velocity, okay? Speculative projections. Some enthusiasts suggest that prices may be higher, like $1,000 plus if XRPL captures 10% of Swift's volume. Well, I calculated $52 based on, where was it? Yeah, $52 based on my calculations from back in 2018. But of course, the metrics have changed since then. These assume XRP would absorb a huge portion of global liquidity demand or face a supply crunch. For $1,000, the market cap would be 1,000 times 58 billion, that equals 58 trillion, over twice the current global market cap, crypto market cap. This seems unrealistic without extraordinary adoption or systemic changes. Let's look at the realistic constraints. Okay, XRP's price depends on adoption, regulatory clarity. Of course, we got the SEC lawsuit that we just talked about. Even capturing 10% of Swift's volume would require massive infrastructure upgrades and institutional buy-ins. Historical data shows XRP's price is volatile but hasn't sustained levels above 384. More conservative estimates like $50 to $100 assume significant but achievable growth. So Grok looking at the $50 to $100 level. So I was right on the money back in 2018. $52 was not unreasonable. In conclusion, though, a reasonable range balancing velocity and adoption might be $10 to $100 per XRP if the XRPL handles 10% of Swift's volume, implying a market cap of $580 billion to $5.8 trillion. Now, let's not forget that that number could go up as well. This is still ambitious as it exceeds most crypto assets today. Higher estimates, $1,000, rely on unlikely supply shock or near total Swift replacement. So, guys, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get to $1,000 unless Ripple does replace Swift completely, which maybe it will one day. Who knows? Although always consider risks, crypto markets are speculative and past performance isn't destiny. Of course, do your own research before investing, but you know what? This gives us a really good ballpark. Even $10 to $100 modestly. I mean, I take that in a second. I was already saying $52, which is pretty much smack dab in the middle there. It is very interesting. We also should consider the fact that, it's very lofty to assume XRP could go to $1,000 per coin. And even Grok does say that would have to rely on something crazy like supply shocks or near replacement of Swift. Who's to say that, a few years down the road, Ripple doesn't offer to just buy Swift? And then if they do, boom, there you go. Near replacement of Swift, 100% replacement of Swift. It certainly wouldn't be out of the cards. Maybe they would agree to a big payout, and that would in fact bring our XRP up to $1,000 per coin. So guys, that's a possible route to a $1,000 XRP, but I think the $10 to $100 range seems a bit more reasonable at this point. But that's just my opinion, and for more opinions on where I think this market's going to go into 2025 and beyond, again, we have to look at the real utility, and that might change, boom, like that, depending on legislation and a slew of other things. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for more opinions on that. I guess I should also say, still offering 20% off for this month at the Working Money Channel merch store, a brand new merchandise store that I created just last week, or the other week, couple of weeks ago anyway. Look, you can get a Bearable Guy baseball tee or an XRP cap, whatever you guys want. I personally am looking to get the dark brown, the chocolate brown Bearable Guy hoodie. Link is in the description of the video. Again, just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.